It's not about winning. I made this analogy 1,000 times. It's WWE. Your job is to play your part. You're a heel, you're the face. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But you better not fucking kick out when you're supposed to lose. Like if a pro wrestler, if he was scheduled to lose and they get kicked out, them niggas gonna get fired. They will get depushed. That's essentially politicians. You could win representing the people, but you will never get that lobbyist position. You're not gonna hit your pension. You're not gonna get your MSNBC contract. You're not gonna get your contract on Fox News. It's a giant performance, my friends. Like, how is this not infuriating to America? This is a politician who is asking a very simple question. And I love that there are like these MAGA influencers doing this. There are MAGA influencers that are going around asking Republican politicians, are you American first? Or are you Israel first? Like, it's so, dude, this is something that right-wing content creators have been doing. Why are progressives doing this to the Democratic Congress people? Well, I take that back. They are. I take that back. There are Democrats protesting. I want to be fair. I take that back. We see this on both sides, which is a good thing. I want to take my last statement back. It's a good thing because we see people challenging the Zionist ruling class, which is why we're in a unique opportunity to organize people who are realizing that their party is hijacked by the Zionist class. Anyway, I'll play. This is my last clip I'll show today, I guess.
Excuse me, sir. America first or Israel first? Come on, sir. You answer right, you might have a future in this town, bro. You'll never be anywhere in politics without having a backbone and a spine, sir. Chicken.
Bruh.
Excuse me, sir. America first or Israel first? Come on.
How is that not an immediate career ender for someone? Imagine how owned you have to be to turn down a potential positive viral moment for yourself. That's how much the AIPAC handlers have this person controlled. Because if he said America first right there, you realize that he would have went viral for good reasons on MAGA Twitter. Like MAGA would be like, oh, look, we got another Thomas Massey. It would have been a great PR moment for this guy. If he said, I'm America first. He didn't even have to say anything bad about Israel. He could just say, yeah, I'm America first. Oh, yeah. And if he did that, he would have went viral. He would have got praised by all the big MAGA slop accounts. But he is owned by Israel so much, he decided not to take that win because he knew what his AIPAC handler would do to him. The same way that Democrats essentially gave up the election to Donald Trump. There was polls that showed Democrats would have won, bro, if they would call out Israel, and they said no. I'm not a big fan of Bernie Sanders. You guys know that. But I still believe Bernie would have defeated Trump. I still believe that to this day. You guys know I don't like Bernie, but it is what it is. I think he would have beat Trump, which go back to Democrats' decision. Democrats rather lose to Trump with a neoliberal than let a social democrat who just wants social welfare reform win. What does that say about the role? It's not about winning. I made this analogy 1,000 times. It's WWE. Your job is to play your part. You're a heel, you're the face. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But you better not fucking kick out when you're supposed to lose. Like if a pro wrestler, if he was scheduled to lose and they get kicked out, them niggas gonna get fired. They will get depushed. That's essentially politicians. You could win representing the people, but you will never get that lobbyist position. You're not gonna hit your pension. You're not gonna get your MSNBC contract. You're not going to get your contract on Fox News. It's a giant performance, my friends. And with that, oh, no. I got to play this. I'm sorry. This has to be the last clip. I almost forgot. This has to be my last clip of the day because I have in the headline, Democrats AIPAC head fake. So I'll make this quick. This will be a quick segment. You guys remember how I covered Seth Molton coming out and saying that he's going to reject AIPAC money. He said he's not taking AIPAC money no more. The reason why he put out this tweet saying that he's returning AIPAC money is because he saw the polling that I just showed you. He saw that the American people, remember this polling I just showed you? Plurality of voters sympathize mostly with Palestinians. Most American voters believe Israel is committing a genocide. And American views on AIPAC has plummeted over the course of the genocide. So seeing these politicians squirm and trying to match this new reality is deeply satisfying. But if you praise Seth Molton because you thought he was one of the good ones, you're unserious. I saw a lot of the progressive left. I should say I mean more of the establishment progressive left when I say this. Because I think even ordinary progressives saw that he was full of shit on this. But like the institutionalized AOC style, they was like, yeah, congratulations, Seth Molton. This is great. Seth Molton, Democrats are turning against AIPAC. No, the reality is, as I said when I first covered this was an obvious head fake because despite not taking AIPAC money, he is still openly supportive of the Israeli cause.
Congressman, you announced on Thursday that you're no longer going to accept donations from AIPAC. And I'm wondering if you can tell us more about your thinking and how you got to that decision. Was it a response to the base and the fact that recent polling has shown that Democrats do not support what has happened in Gaza and that they've pulled away from support for Israel? Or is it just that you yourself have seen the images of what's transpired in this war and that it's reshaped the way you see the United States relationship to Israel?
Look, the United States relationship to Israel is incredibly important, but I strongly disagree with the current Israeli government under Bibi Netanyahu.
You guys see how Bernie Sanders coached all these people on how to trick people into thinking that you're anti-Zionist? He explains he still believes the United States and Israel relationship is extremely important. He going with the Bernie Sanders line because I don't know if they focus group tested this among Democrat voters. They had to, right? Like maybe the Netanyahu government shit works for liberal voters. I don't know. Remember, these people, they're not trying to win me over. I think that Netanyahu government line works amazing for liberal white moms for whatever reason. Because that's why they're saying it. It's a focus group tested phrase meant to deflect the true crimes and barbarity of the Zionist project inherently. It meant to deflect from the criticisms and the illegal occupation of Palestine by the state of Israel by deflecting it to a boogeyman, by deflecting it to Netanyahu. It's actually depraved Zionist propaganda meant to ease your anger at the Israeli state. It is meant to erase the fact that there are violent terrorist settlers who are torturing, killing, and attacking Palestinians in the West Bank. It erases the fact that there are settlers that in coordination with the IDF is blocking aid going to Gaza, even to this day. You had Israeli settlers that was urinating on a batch of flour that was sent to Gaza. So if you mention how the Netanyahu government is evil, that whitewashes the sins of the Israeli people. Zionist scum like Seth Molton and Bernie Sanders, you're not tricking me. You're not tricking us. I'm afraid that these people are tricking these liberal-minded voters who this is clearly focus tested on. But let's continue.
And I've been very outspoken about this for Netanyahu. And I've been very outspoken about this.
I'm going to go back to the beginning of his statement.
You see the United States relationship to Israel.
Look, the United States relationship to Israel is incredibly important, but I strongly disagree with the current Israeli government under Bibi Netanyahu. And I've been very outspoken about this for quite some time. I mean, in fact, I wrote an op-ed just after October 7th, right after those heinous attacks, saying that Bibi Netanyahu needs to have a political plan for the future for Palestinians and for Israelis to live peacefully side by side. He still doesn't have that plan. So after months and months of pressuring the Israeli government, pressuring AIPAC itself to not just follow the Israeli government, I finally decided that I just cannot accept.
What pressure do you put on? Even the Israelis said that Joe Biden put surprisingly lack of pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu and his government. It has been reported, I'll say reported, that Trump, he put more pressure on than Biden. And Seth Molton was a diehard Biden supporter. What pressure did he put on AIPAC to stop the slaughter of the Palestinians? What political solution that you proposed that would have led to the safety and preventing the genocide against the Palestinians? Nothing. And he's actually going to be called out for that, so believe it or not.
Contributions from an organization whose mission is to support the current government in Israel.
Congressman, but let me just follow up on that really quickly. How do you reconcile rejecting AIPAC money but still voting for the same policies that AIPAC is advocating for?
Bruh, this man, Ayman, I'm here to watch this shit so you guys don't. Ayman is a weird cat. Don't get me wrong. This man is a shit lib. He is a shit lib. Don't misunderstand me. This man is a shit lib. He was a Kamala supporter. But I am surprised that this man still has a job. I'll be honest. Because out of everyone on MSNBC, Ayman is definitely the least shit libby. He's still shit lib. I don't want you guys to misunderstand that. He still supports the Ukraine proxy war. I'm sure that he hates Nicolas Maduro. Yeah, he definitely does. I see him smearing Nick. So he definitely still a fucking shit lib. But he's the least shit lib on MSNBC. And I promise to God, I would not be shocked to see this man get fired in the next few years, because this man has asked so many Democratic politicians these kind of questions, because his whole thing is that he's supposed to be the guy who talks about Palestine on MSNBC. So I bet you this motherfucker's going to be fired in like 2 years. I give this man 2 years at best, because he asked a devastating follow-up question that Seth Molton definitely was not prepared for.
On that really quickly, how do you reconcile rejecting AIPAC money but still voting for the same policies that AIPAC is advocating for? You have continuously supported sending offensive weapons.
Not true. I've frequently disagreed with AIPAC. I mean,
I know you disagreed with AIPAC,
them over the,
but you have been.
Look, he's panicking. He won't even allow him to finish the question. This is a sign of panic, because he's not used to these kind of follow-up questions. And the whole thing, and this is what Bernie Sanders do. It's very important to you to understand how to decode liberal Zionist genocidal language. When they say they voted to ban offensive weapons, do you guys know they still include rockets and missiles that Israel used to bomb Gaza? You know they still include bombs that Israel used to drop on other countries? Their definition of defensive weapons is anything sent to Israel that is used to fight their enemies, that cause is a direct threat to the state of Israel. So whenever you hear Bernie Sanders and Seth Molton say they call for an end to offensive weapons, it's full of shit. That is not what they're doing. But let me finish the clip, because Ayman, once again, he's a shit lib. I don't want you guys to think he's good, but he's definitely the least shit libby guy they have on MSNBC. And I believe his time is limited, guys. I really do. I've seen so many clips of this guy. Like, man, I can't believe they still let this guy on this fucking show. Remember, he still supports the Ukraine war. He hates Nicolas Maduro. He's awful. But he, on Palestine in particular, for some reason, they allow this guy to grill Democrats on that issue. I think he's going to get fired soon. I really do. But I'm going to show you the full exchange here.
But still voting for the same policies that AIPAC is advocating for. You have continuously supported sending offensive weapons.
Not true. I've frequently disagreed with AIPAC. I mean,
I know you disagreed with AIPAC,
them over the,
but you have been voting for.
Wait, slow down.
I know, but I didn't finish my question. I didn't finish my question. I was saying you voted for sending weapons to Israel, which is something AIPAC has advocated for.
Okay, so sure, there are some votes that we'll agree on, but the important point.
You guys see the panic? I want to show that part again because first he's like, "Come on, slow down. You're not supposed to ask tough questions." We didn't agree on any follow-up questions. And Amen, this is why I think his job is limited, bro. I tell you, he don't have good politics, but his job is limited because he's like, nigga, I'm gonna ask this damn question. I'm gonna ask that question you, bro. He's gonna get fired, bro. I'm telling you, his time is limited. Because Amen, props to him, he didn't allow Seth Molton to get away with that bullshit. You see the complete panic.
Disagreed with AIPAC. I
mean, I know you disagreed with AIPAC,
with them over
but you have been voting for.
Wait, slow down.
I know, but I didn't finish my question. I didn't finish my question. I was saying you voted for sending weapons to Israel, which is something AIPAC has advocated for.
Okay, so sure, there are some votes that we'll agree on.
He said there are some votes that we will agree on. There's some votes I will agree with AIPAC on. When Amen asked him about sending weapons. So despite the fact that Seth Molton made a big deal about him not taking AIPAC money, he is still supportive of sending Israel weapons. You see how Democrats plan to manipulate their dumb liberal audience? And it's going to work on a lot of them, man. All these Democrats you see in polls who oppose Palestine, they're going to be like, I support Seth Molton. Don't you know he don't take AIPAC money? Don't you know he say this is worse, fam. You guys realize that supporting arming Israel, supporting the U.S.-Israel relationship when you don't take AIPAC money, how is that a positive message? So you're essentially telling people that you want to sell out to Israel for free? How is that a solid message? That's like what AOC does. She's like, don't you know that I'm not rich. I'm still working class. I only have $50,000 in my bank account. That's what AOC said. She's like, I only got $50,000 in my bank account. That means you a cheap poor. That's only that you telling me. You're telling me that you're sold out for cheap. Why do Democrats think that's a good fucking talking point to say?